Joining us now on 6 News, David Limbrick, Libertarian Party member for South East Metro on the Victorian Upper House. Thanks very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So the agreement from the government, the announcement from the government when they passed the social media ban late last year in the federal parliament was that YouTube would be exempt. They'd kind of initially included it. It was made exempt by the end of it. The eSafe Commissioner has come out today and recommended for it to be included as well, and that includes alongside, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. What's your reaction to that recommendation?
Well, firstly, I don't think that this social media ban should happen in the first place, but they also made a commitment that YouTube was going to be excluded. I know that lots of schools use YouTube for education. Lots of kids, many kids watch more YouTube than television these days. And the idea that it's just going to be excluded from this is totally wrong. It's a terrible idea what they're doing with the prioritization of this. Like, why are they choosing to do this? If they're worried about harm to kids, do they really think that like social media is the most harmful thing on the internet? Like, I question that. I say, well, why aren't they looking at other things like porn and other things? They just ignore that. I think it's wrong what they're doing here.
So in terms of what kind of regulation the government's looking at here, because I think it's generally accepted. And look, I'm against the social media ban, have been, but I'll also say that of course these platforms have issues. Any website really does. Is there a role from your kind of libertarian perspective for the government to play in regulation here?
Well, firstly, I don't think that the technical aspects of the regulation will actually work anyway. But the main role for both, government and parents, it should be around education. Children need to be educated in this sort of stuff. I know that they've spoken about the analogy of swimming, but the idea of teaching a kid to swim without ever letting them get in the pool is sort of ridiculous. When you learn to swim, you swim with your kids at first, and then after a while, after they learn how to do it, they do it by themselves. And I think it's the same sort of thing here. You need to teach kids how to safeguard themselves against these sorts of things, and then you can, eventually they'll get to the point where they can use it themselves. Many kids are far more wary of this stuff and knowledgeable about it than their parents. Like, even one of my kids, he's got his own YouTube channel and he produces content and stuff like that. I know that your own organization was set up by kids under 16. And, if you took that away, would 6 News even exist? I mean, I'd say probably not.
No, I can attest that we would not, absolutely. In terms of how the implementation is going to happen, it's still 6 months away. If it's all on track, and look, things may change, I probably would suspect so, in terms of the kind of timeline. But we've seen there's been some trialing of facial recognition technology. There was an ABC report, seemed to be flawed, with 15-year-olds being marked as in their 30s and the like. And of course, there's other ideas, whether you're submitting ID to these social media platforms. Do you have concerns around either of those?
Well, the technical implementation is a problem in itself. As you said, like, these facial recognition technologies are not very precise. But I think what a lot of people have missed is that it's not just kids who are going to be submitting their ID for these things. It's going to be everyone's going to have to do it, because they're not going to be able to tell the difference between adults and kids otherwise. So everyone that uses social media will be subject to this sort of verification. And I think it's a big problem, because you're going to be forcing social media companies somehow to get some sort of valid identification from users, probably government identification, or potentially, as they said, facial recognition. I think the one saving grace here we've got is we all know that government IT projects nearly always go over budget and over time, and many cases they fail. So I'm sort of hoping it will be about as successful as the COVID Safe app.
We will wait and see. David Limbrick, really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.